Okay. Well, today is a New Year's Day in the United States. Happy New Year, everyone. All right. For New Year's, I hope that you will have a more successful and less stressful New Year's. Unlike last year with the COVID-19, it's pretty bad for everyone. So we hope it will get much better than that. Can only go up. But I hope that this new year here, you will also make the resolve to improve, because that's one way, even more. Yeah, that is one way to bring more joy into your own life. It's not something that is that you talk about. It's something you experience yourself. Every time you improve, you experience more joy internally. Life becomes more meaningful. So I hope more of you will experience that, and more of you will continue to improve. I'm very pleased with your progress last year, in spite of all the pandemic and the very difficult circumstances and challenges in your life. Many of you improved, low level as high level, so it makes me very happy. That's my fun of doing this. If it weren't for fun, then I wouldn't be doing this. So that's part of my great fun, is to see you improve and be able to help more others. Okay. Tonight we will continue to listen to Master YongHua's, my late Chinese teacher's instruction during the Chanqi that he organized during the 60s and 70s. He started to go into examples about the farmer planting seeds. Okay. So that's when we stopped last time, and so we continue that. But quickly before that, what I'm telling you is basically the Weiyang Chan school approach. You remember Master Wei Shan, the founder of our Chan school in China. He went to the mountains. He became enlightened, and he was sent to the mountains to cultivate further. And it's not until after he became more skilled and have more accomplishments in his spiritual work that he started to build a temple and to teach more people. So that's exactly what we're doing. Unlike my late Chinese master, he amassed temples after temples after temples, and most of them are very poorly managed. Most of them are not qualified, in my humble opinion, to run temples. Of course, he's a great sage. I don't know what his reasons. I'm not privy to his reasons. I never asked him either. From an outsider perspective, I do prefer not to do that, because I looked at Master Wei Shan's example. He only built temples. The temples had to be built for him in order for him to teach students, teach Chinese. Okay, you're looking at a very pure Chan master. Okay, that he exemplified non-seeking. Yes, his mission was to teach and help living beings, and was predicted that he would cross over thousands of Chinese at that place. But what did he do? He wasn't impressed. He wasn't influenced by that prediction, by that mission. He says, yes, I'm supposed to teach, but it's not my job to go and seek support to build temple in order to teach people. It's not my job. So eventually he just sat there and meditated, and eventually the circumstances pushed the Prime Minister Pei Xiu to go for a visit, to ask him, to request the Dharma from him. He was so impressed. He said, "This is a worthy teacher. He should teach a lot more Chinese in order to benefit the country. This is what great leaders are supposed to do. They invest in education. They invest in the training of talents." That's what used to be the case. That's why back then China was so powerful, so prosperous. Okay, so it took the Prime Minister to come over and build a temple for this monk he feels is a very worthy teacher. And did Master Wei Shan say, "Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to teach people," it's not. Master Wei Shan never said anything. So look at the purity of this teacher. Even when Prime Minister Pei Xiu gave him 200 silver taels, he said, "Where do I put this?" He said, "Anywhere you like." And 3 years later, he came back, still there at the same spot. And that's the standard that our founder, our Chan school founder, set for us. Okay? There's no way, personally, I feel I'm able to reach that level of purity and a level of wisdom that Master Wei Shan exhibited in his entire career. But we as aspiring disciples of his, we should try to abide by his standards. So that's why, personally, I'm not interested in temples. I'm interested in you. I'm interested in training people. And when there's enough people who are qualified to teach others, then I will start looking for temples. Okay? But not before that. So that's the difference between, I feel, us and my master's side. My masters have so many assets, and they're vastly underutilized because I don't know why he would accept those, except for the fact he has so many blessings that he might as well use them somewhere. Okay, but that's not who we are. We train people first, and then when the circumstances are appropriate, then we'll branch out and teach more people, not before. So if you don't improve and you're not qualified to do that, then we won't open more branch temples. It's that simple. Okay? So all is predicated upon upon you being able to learn and your own ideals, your own personal developments. It's not about me. Okay? All I want is retire to the Bahamas eventually. That's all. Very simple. Ordinary dreams. All right. Until then, until my retirement, of course, I will commit to teach as many of you, train as many of you as possible. I don't take it lightly, and I hope you don't either, because my tests are actually very hard. We don't have the same resources as my Chinese master, so you can bet that my test will be a lot harder. All right, continue, please.
底下又有草也一起生出来。那么，于是乎，这种田的人又要用人工把这个草拿走了的。
Together, this weed grow from the ground. Thus, this farmer need to manually take out the weed, take it out.
因为这个地呀也不太好，有的地方啊就长得很多石头。
Because this ground is not great, some places have many stones.
用石头的人这个石头我把它打了，可以造房子，很好的。
Those who use the stone, those stones, I break them, can use them to build houses. Very good.
不用石头的人，这个石头真讨厌，在这地方我不能种东西。
Those who don't use the stone, these stones are so annoying, laying here, I can't plant things.
这也是一样的地，就有人欢喜它，有人不欢喜它。
The same ground. Some like it, some don't like it.
拿那个大学教授来讲，这个大学教授认真教书，教得很认真的。
Take that college professor, for example. This college professor teaches seriously, very seriously.
这个懒学生啊就不高兴了，就是他怎么样啊？尽心竭力来教书。
This lazy student is unhappy. It's him. What the heck? He spends all his effort to teach wholeheartedly.
也没看见学校多给他1块钱，多赏他一点，真是这个太愚痴了。
I don't see the school give him an extra dollar, or reward him a little more. This is too stupid.
他好好教书，他骂他，说他不对。
He teaches well, but he, the lazy student, scolds him, says he is wrong.
那个愿意读书的学生就很高兴了，说这个教授真好，他是1分钟他也不懒惰。
The student willing to study would be very happy, says this professor is great. He is not even lazy for a minute.
来循善诱，就是用尽种种的方法，教这一些小生。
He is good at giving methodical and patient guidance. That is to exhaust all kinds of methods to teach these students.
循善诱，就好像哄小孩子似的。
This is called good at giving methodical and patient guidance. Is like coaxing kids, coaxes these students.
那么哄这一班学生，叫他们读多一点书。那么一样的小生就有欢喜的，有的不欢喜。
Persuade them to study more. Then same students, some like him, some don't like him.
为什么这样子呢？就因为现在这个时候到这个时候， 到这个斗争艰苦的时候了。
Why is that? Just because at this time, this time of strong conflict,
你无论呢怎么样子，他也要说出你一点坏话来。那么有这一点呢，俺们人在这个世界上啊，
no matter what you do, he has something bad to say about you. Because of this, in this world,
不要听人讲的好不好，自己呀，做自己的。
we don't need to listen to others telling us what's good and what's not. We ourselves do our own thing.
So that's the difference between the old times and our modern times. He calls it Dharma ending age, this era here, especially with the advent of the internet. You have all these various opinions that people express about everything. And I always find it funny that the students at colleges get to rate the professors. And to me, how can a student possibly rate their teacher? Only the mediocre teachers would be worried about it. I went to U Chicago where they emphasized research. They never emphasized teaching. They don't think much about teachings, and therefore they those professors don't pay attention to the students' rating at all. They don't care because they do their own things. That's what Master YongHua is talking about. Whereas the mediocre professors would worry about it because it affects whether they can get tenure track or not. Whereas the established professors, they couldn't care less. They're untouchable. And it's not why they're there. They're not there to win a popularity contest. They're there to do a job that they feel they believe in. Okay, so that's the difference. I feel my master never really worried about what people thought of him. Master YongHua himself, when he was alive, a lot of people, especially his peers, the worst kinds of the peers, who would badmouth him, and because they feel threatened by him, they cannot measure up to his standards. So understandably, they need to criticize him and slander him. I think they can go into the slandering part pretty soon about the Buddha, because they cannot rise to the level of my master. Therefore, the obvious thing to do is bring him down to their level. Okay, so it's just life. You're gonna, if you're gonna get praises, you're gonna get criticism, you're gonna get bad things. If people say bad things about you and good things about you, he says, doesn't matter. You should be yourself. Do your own thing. Don't be affected by that. Okay? Do not let it affect you. Of course, it affects us. Who wants to be? It's not pleasant to be bad-mouthed. It's not pleasant to be criticized. But don't let it afflict you long-term. Okay? Listen. We should listen. Look at the person who criticizes you. Is that person qualified to criticize you? Does she know what she's doing? Or what are her credentials? Is she the expert at that? Is she an accomplished professional in that field or not? Okay, so, but regardless, we should listen to criticism and negative things about us. with respect. And yes, it's unpleasant. Yes, it bothers us. But we need to get rid of that affliction and concentrate on doing our things. Okay? And that's what will naturally happen with your progress. As you increase your samadhi power, you will be less affected by the criticism or the praises, for that matter. You're less dependent on others and their opinions of you. Continue, please.
我往好了做，不管人家怎么样批评。不要说我们现在这个时候，就是当初释迦牟尼佛在世的时候。
I do towards good, no matter others. Don't even say our time period now, even when Shakyamuni Buddha was alive.
多少人毁谤他，多少人破坏佛教。
How many people slandered him? How many people were destroying Buddhism?
The funny thing, did Shakyamuni Buddha even ever mention that he was about him being slandered or people trying to destroy his Buddha Dharma? Never. I never heard anything like that in our scriptures.
以释迦牟尼佛这种的福慧双缘，尚且有人来毁谤他。
Even with Shakyamuni Buddha's complete merits and wisdom, there were people slandering him.
何况我们现在是末法时代。
Not to mention that it's the Dharma ending era now.
那么我知道在外边所有的人尤其这些个挂佛教的招牌的人，这样这是很不满意的。
I know everybody outside, especially those who hang Buddhist signs, they are very dissatisfied with us.
为什么不满意呢？你问他，他也说不出来一个所以然来。他不知道为什么不满意。但是我知道。
Why are they dissatisfied? If you ask him, he won't be able to tell you a good reason. He doesn't know why he is dissatisfied, but I know.
为什么我知道呢？就两个字，妒忌，妒忌。
Why do I know? Because of the word jealousy. Jealousy.
因为他就怕我们比他好了，所以他就生出一种妒忌心。
Just because he is afraid that we are better than him, so he produced the jealous mind.
He's not afraid. He knows that we're better. That's why he's jealous. This is not quite precise. They knew that the Buddha was better. That's why they're jealous. His peers knew that Master YongHua was better, was pure. Therefore, they were jealous. His peers back then, knew the Master Lingyou, Master Weishan was better, far better, and they were jealous. Okay, and lucky for us, we never had to. It didn't have enough internet and materials to record all those things, because I think it would be the same as right now, or same as Shakyamuni Buddha's time. Plenty of criticism and slanderings and all those things. It's just life. It's nothing new about it. Okay.
咱们以后啊，咱们到什么地方去，不要说自己好，咱们就说我们自己呀，什么都不懂，什么都不明白。
Then later, wherever we go, do not say we are good. We just say that we don't know anything, don't understand anything.
You see that this came from the horse's mouth. I mean, from the great master's mouth. He says, wherever you go, don't say you're the best. Don't say you know everything. Just say you don't know anything. That's what I remember. I remember him. He said, I don't know anything. Are you kidding me? Look at all the monks around us. The monks who have been monks since the age of 7 and 8. Like Master YongHua became a monk at the age of, a novice at the age of 11. I became a novice at the age of 39. There's a huge difference in experience and knowledge and wisdom. So what do we know? We don't know anything. That's the truth, compared to the other senior monks. Okay, they're the ones who know. We don't know anything. Do not get trapped into that external pressure. Oh, you are the descendants or the teacher Wei Yang lineage, therefore you must know everything. No, we don't. What do we know? Wei Yang tradition has over 1,000 years. We barely have 10 years, 20 years worth. What do we know? Nothing. There's so many great teachers in our proud tradition, including a Chinese one who just died recently. He never said himself he knew everything. Of course he doesn't. Of course you can tell he's not as pure as Master Weishan. Okay? Of course that means that he doesn't know everything about Wei Yang school. Right? Just a fact. So don't get trapped. And the Master just reminded you right now, do not fall into that trap. Just because I put you as an abbot, do not ever proclaim, or vice abbot, do not ever proclaim you know everything. We are learning, we're all learning. YouTube question.
Alta D asks, Buddha admitted he knows everything, right?
The Buddha is different. Are you a Buddha? If I were a Buddha, I would have no problems telling you I know everything. Okay? But I'm no Buddha. You know how much a Buddha knows? Everything. That's how scary the Buddha is. And that's such a high standard, just high level attainment that we're so far away from it. We have a long way to go. There's so much more we need to learn. That's what makes it interesting to me. Because if I know everything, I should retire. I don't know. Why bother? There's nothing else to do. Come on. Nothing else to learn. Huh? There's no more fun in life. You young people should enjoy learning more and more and more. The more you learn, and then the more you unfold your wisdom. Life is so much richer, so much more wonderful. Look at yourself. Only losers will look at others and say, "Oh, he's a bad person. He's a so and so and so." That's how losers behave. Master YongHua doesn't criticize people. The Buddha never criticized people. Huh? Never claim they know everything. Continue, please.
要各处访寻善知识。那么谁是善知识呢？
Need to visit good knowing advisors everywhere. Then who is good knowing advisor?
他们能批评我们不对的，这都是我们的善知识。以后你们到各处去，就报听给这种的宗旨。
Whoever can criticize or wrong is our good knowing advisor. Later, everywhere we go, we should hold on to such principle.
What about, wait. What about those who praise us? Are they the good known advisors? Be honest, come on. Those who praise us, are they good known advisors or not? Yes, agreed.
I think even though it feels good when someone praises you, I don't think they could be your known going advisors.
Why not?
Because they probably want something from you when they praise you.
They what?
They probably want something from you when they praise you.
They want what?
They
When
probably want something from you,
they want something from you.
usually.
Does your girlfriend praise you?
Huh?
Does your girlfriend praise you often?
No.
Wait. Give me the answer. Answer me. Does she praise you?
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes. Do you look at her as your good advisor?
No.
You better. Girlfriends always are wiser than we are. Don't you know it by now? Men, be wiser. Okay? There, I disagree here. He says, those who criticize us are our good no advisors. No, those who praise us, especially our girlfriends, are our good no advisors. See, my master is too Chinese. I'm teaching you French good no advisors. They're all females. Okay? We're not restricted to Chinese or American. It's French, and So you say that those who praise us are actually trying to get something out of us. For example, your supervisor praises you because she wants you to work harder, something like that, for no raises. That's what I used to do to my employees. I say, "Oh, you're such a great contributor. Oh, here's a cookie." Cookie? It wasn't long before they caught on and said, okay, okay, just give me a raise. And stop wasting time. Okay. Do you agree with him? Those who praise you actually are up to something? Huh? So pessimistic. Yes, Green.
Not all the time, it just happens sometimes. It just, by experience, I've seen that, but not all the time.
Lots of times.
Lots of time.
Lots
like
of
80%
times
of the
they
time.
praise you, but sometimes they praise you because it's a good thing. They mean it.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes people do mean it.
So how do you tell the difference between when they mean it and when they don't?
Because they
That's my
usually-
problem.
They usually ask me for something like 3 days later. And then I learned that.
Okay. So sometimes they do mean it. Sometimes they really are sincere when they praise us. That's what you're telling us. Okay? But most of the time you feel they're not sincere. They're up to something. Okay? Okay, we have YouTube has a comment from Jewel Mountain.
Yeah, Jewel Mountain says, yes, because if we like the praise a lot, we can find our ego right there.
Okay, so the point here is in a Korean way of expressing it, let me paraphrase in English for you, that if you like praises, you seek praises, actually inflates your ego. Okay? That's a problem. Cultivation, practice, spiritual practice, Buddhist spiritual practice, okay, I have to qualify it, is that we aim to reduce our ego, not make it bigger. Praises makes it bigger, makes it more entrenched, okay, deepens its roots. That's the problem with praises. Yes, GF Cube.
Emitofuo, when people praise you, actually, and not people, but when your teacher praise you, that means you are still very fragile. You cannot take the criticism, so he praise you.
It's so true. I can relate to the story I heard. I read on my master's stories they told about him years ago. He said he used to have a nun disciple, Caucasian nun disciple, okay, at the city 10,000 Buddhas, and for some reason, he always heaped praises on her, to the point where his other nuns, disciples, would say, "Why do you favor her so much? Why do you always praise her and say good things about her and scold us and give us a hard time?" And Master YongHua said, "Well, you find out why." Okay, and later that nun returned to lay life. Why? And then she became a lawyer. Okay, got a law degree, so she's not totally a loser. Actually, she's a winner, in my humble opinion. Okay, so she returned to lay life, and her friends, her nun friends, asked her, "Why? Master adores you so much, he praises you so much. He cannot find anything wrong about you. Well, he shreds us to pieces every time we go near him." And she says, I know, I love it here. But suddenly, I have this urge to have a child. I can't let go of that fixation. I want to have a child. So I'm going to return to lay life, have a child, and see what happens. So later she left, of course, returned to lay life, had a child, got married, had a child, got divorced and so forth, got a law degree, became a lawyer, came back to the association, volunteered as a lawyer, volunteer lawyer, do pro bono work for the temple. Okay, so it's very, very, very nice story, good ending. But Master YongHua said, so they asked him again, did you know? Do you know she will return to lay life? He said, of course. I know that she wouldn't have much time with us. So therefore, I want to prolong as long as I could. Whereas you guys are losers. I have plenty of time. I can praise you later. I might paraphrase it a little bit. His words are a lot kinder. He doesn't use the word losers as loosely as I do. As he used, and they're because nowadays there are a lot more losers than winners. Anyway, you see, so that's his rationale. It says, you know, I want to make this as pleasant as possible for her because I know it won't last for her. I want her to have a good impression of Buddhism. This is a good experience for her. And sure enough, it was so nice and so pleasant for her, she would come back and support his work. Okay? So yes, the point is well taken. The good no advisors scold you and because you're able to take it. And sometimes his goal is to get rid of you so that your ugly side comes out. Your repulsive side comes out. YouTube has a comment.
Mary Jo says, people usually reveal who they really are and their motivations if you are patient and observant. If you receive praise, you wait and you can figure out why.
It's true. It's more interesting, let me tell you, from a teacher perspective, the praise is easy because it's too easy. People, you praise someone, thank you. But it's a lot more revealing when you criticize them. It's the true personality comes out, the nastiness, the vindictiveness, the evil side comes out. So that's why the praises are not as useful as the criticism. All right, continue, please.
接受人的批评啊，你谁说我们不对啊，就是不对，说我们骄傲啊。
We accept others' criticism. You first said are wrong, said we are proud.
我们希望改过，把这个骄傲改了它。啊，只要你不你。
We like to fix our mistakes. Then we can fix this proud.
你能说出我们一个毛病来，俺们就直认不辞的说好，俺们这是错了，希望俺们自己能改过。
Like this. If you can say our problem, we will admit it directly without hesitation. We are wrong. We hope we can fix it.
That's what the salespeople are trained to do. They admit they're wrong, but they don't mean it. So this is probably doesn't work in this country, Go on.
看看他怎么样，看看他听的又如何啊！不要和人家辩论。 俺们只要问真了，
Then how does he feel listening to this? Don't argue with others, as long as we can do it for real.
问真实了做去。世界上的人呢，不是都是瞎子，不是都是盲眼睛，会有人认识。
Do it towards the real. Worldly people are not blind. Not all are blind. Somebody will recognize us.
那么有人认识，咱们已经就够了，不需要向任何人去辩论去。
YouTube has a question. Oh, go ahead, read the English, and then you go to the question.
Somebody can recognize us. That's enough. Don't need to listen to anybody's argument.
Okay, YouTube question.
Elta D asks, I've been having a problem admitting I am wrong. How do I fix this? I feel like I have become a jerk.
I don't know. How do you fix a jerk? What can he do? Our temple has such nice people. Yes, Green.
Maybe by practicing not to be a jerk, maybe by going with people that are needy or the homeless person and not be a jerk with them, or to try not to. And meditation probably will help.
What did he say? Excuse me. I have a hard time listening, hearing this. Yeah. One more time, please.
By practicing, by going to the most needy people in the world that need help, and to practice meditation.
Practice thinking to the needy people.
Yeah, practicing volunteering for needy people, that people are in need.
And you stop, you less of a jerk?
Yeah, it would take you a while, but it could probably happen. And then probably meditation.
So you have openings at your for volunteer jerk?
Yes, they have.
There you go, Alta D. He can go there. His name is Daniel the Catholic. The avowed Catholic for life. So let's not even try to convert him, okay? YouTube comment from Jewel Mountain.
Jewel Mountain says, just admit that it can be fixed, or just do it first and see what happens.
Why we want to change? I mean, I don't understand. Why do you have to change? Why can't you be a jerk? Why can't you be yourself? Hey, Mr. Jerk, you have friends, right? Yeah, he has friends. He brought a few friends over. So what's wrong? I mean, a lot of people are not even jerks. They have no friends at all. Answer, yes.
Mary Jo says, awareness, patience, don't quit.
Awareness, patience, don't quit. It's too Catholic. What's wrong with just being yourself, just being a jerk? Huh? Green, yes.
Well, in my own opinion, it's not a problem being a jerk unless you're suffering for being a jerk.
You what, being a jerk?
It's not a problem being a jerk unless you're suffering for being a jerk. And I think he's kind of suffering because he's asking the question.
Ah, you're getting where I'm going. Okay, very good. Wow, I'm impressed. That's very good. My point is that the point I was getting at, what I was getting at is that why would you want to stop being a jerk? If you cannot put a finger on what bothers you, really bothers you about your behavior, your being, your state of being, then there's no solution for you. Don't fall into that trap. I want to be, this, even though it's all today, don't trust him. He said, I'm a jerk and how can I change? What if he says, I'm a jerk, between parentheses, I like it? Okay? How do I change? You will not be able to fix a problem unless it really bothers you. Do not try to, you don't touch it. People say, oh, I wish I could be nicer. I wish I could be more compassionate. I would be kinder. I'd be less of a jerk. I say, what for? That's my first reaction. What for? Why do you have to be kinder? What's wrong with you? You're just so nice already. See that? You don't be under the impression that you must always criticize people. You can be nice to people too. And help them as well. What's wrong with being a jerk? I don't see anything wrong with it. Right? What's wrong? I like you. Donation box. That's what the sign, the flashing sign, donation box, button. Okay. See my point? Why do you always have to attack people, criticize people, and say, oh, I think you're nice. There's nothing wrong with it. This is what old people always do that to me, by the way. Young people say, oh, yeah. You're right, you should have stopped being a jerk. But when you talk to a mature person, they'll say, well, why? What's wrong? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with you. That's how they would start the conversation. There's nothing wrong with you. I see nothing wrong with you. That's savviness. Because what they're driving at is eventually, you say, but I don't like this, I don't like that. Then, okay? Don't jump the gun immediately and say, I don't like, I'm a jerk, I don't treat my mother well, I don't like it. No, I see you so sweet to her. Okay? You're always together. How wonderful it is to see you two together. And so forth. Okay? So don't touch those problems unless you know. You find out more. Don't jump the gun and say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, today, you're such a nice person. I see you so many friends. There's nothing wrong. I can't find anything wrong about you. All right, YouTube answer.
Yeah, the Alta D says, I want to be more compassionate, not a jerk, but I'm not scared to be mean anymore because I'm not afraid of the consequences. Maybe it's the consequences of fearlessness from practicing Chan.
Okay, but compassion and fearlessness have nothing to do with being a jerk, you see? I stand my ground. You're very nice. Okay? Keep sending money through Zelle. Yes, YouTube doesn't just give up.
Brady says, always treat people the way you want to be treated. Being a jerk is not in keeping with this.
As soon as someone tells me that I'm a jerk, and someone says something bad about himself or herself, I immediately stand back. I say, oh, I don't know. If you can see yourself like that, I don't believe you have a problem. I believe that if you can see yourself that clearly that you don't like the part of yourself, you will find a solution yourself. You don't need help. The hardest people are the ones who cannot see themselves as a jerk. Those are very hard to deal with. When the people who say, I'm a jerk, I want to change, don't need to help them. Okay? Just keep on praising them. You're not a jerk. Okay. Yes, you too.
Emily says, why don't you recite more of the compassion mantra since you want to have more compassion?
There you go. Do the compassion mantra. Do charity work. Call Daniel. All right. Any other questions? Yes, Green.
This kind of reminds me when someone comes to my office and says, I drink alcohol every day, but it's not a problem for me because I could always quit. And I say, okay, good. Come back when you really want to quit.
All right. Continue, please.
这就是德行。你要是不和人辩论，这就是有德行。你要和人辩论，
This is a virtue. If you don't argue with others, that's having virtue. If you argue with others, that's not good.
Okay. Here's the problem I have again with Master Shen was talking like this. Maybe I don't understand or appreciate the Chinese culture, but when he says, if somebody can recognize us, that's enough. Okay? And don't worry about, others' negative opinions of you. Why? What's the big deal? So now that now our self-image is based on having someone recognizing us as who we are. That's not very good. It's not a good solution for this problem. The better solution is like Shakyamuni Buddha, or those people with real wisdom. I mean, this solution here is for worldly people. I disagree with that. Don't worry about it. Okay? Don't worry that and make yourself, convince yourself someone can recognize me, can appreciate me, like my wife, my girlfriend. That's good enough. Okay? Don't worry about the rest. It's for ordinary people whose ego is so fragile. They need reinforcements. If you cultivate Chan and you like that, the demons and the ghosts will have a field day with you. They come and harass you 24 hours a day. Don't be like that. If you don't practice Chan, you don't do any spiritual practice, then that's fine. But for us, if people recognize us or not, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. If people recognize us, fine. They don't recognize us, it's okay too. It doesn't matter at all. We do what we do. Okay? How do we know? We know because it's not of our standards. That's the difference between us and lay people. Lay people, they say, oh, I have these 95% positive ratings, okay? And only 5% is negative and so forth, that's normal, okay? So they praise them, they base their self-esteem on external things. Whereas when you practice Chan, you cannot. You should not be like that. Okay? Yeah. You should not bother with external things like others, what others think about you, say about you, and so forth. It doesn't matter. Okay? You have to rise above all that ordinary stuff, all that worldly things, and stick to the patriarch's principles. That's our advantages. I point out to you the standards of our patriarch that they set up for us already. Follow that path. Don't worry about what other people think of us, of you. Don't worry about whether I like you or not. It's funny. A lot of people, some people, when I was younger, as a novice in the temple, I was supervising the younger novices, and I'm told that some novices quit because he said, "I'm so mean, I don't like him." It's true. But that shouldn't bother them. I don't like them because I'm stupid. It should not affect their decisions. Okay. Similarly, we should not let other people's opinion affect our faith, our resolve. Okay? Stick to the plan. That is, we walk the path. We follow the principles stipulated by our wise teachers, our good advisors. Don't worry so much about if someone likes you or recognizes you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Okay? I don't know how many people in this world can recognize Master YongHua. Why is he saying these things? He's saying this because those people needed to hear it. But I know he's not like that. I can tell you that 100%. I do believe 100% that he's not like this. He says he doesn't care if you recognize him, and whether you praise and criticize him is irrelevant. Who cares? And he also has to teach these people that low-level virtue called when you argue, don't argue with others. That's not really virtues. I'm sorry. I don't call that virtue. I call it smart. It's nothing virtuous about not arguing with others. To me, virtue is when they criticize you, they harm you, and you don't do anything. That's virtue to me. When they criticize you and you don't argue with them, to me, it's not virtue. It's just being smart. Eventually they get tired, that's all. Go on.
那就不是善。所谓善言不变，好的话不辩论，辩言不善。
It is said that good words do not dispute. Good words do not dispute. The disputatious words are not good.
你要是辩论呢，那就不是善。知者不博，博者不知。
If you dispute, that is not good. Those who know are not extensively learned. The extensively learned don't know.
To Chinese, cut it out. Don't be like this. Okay? It's not about dispute. It's about bearing it in the spirit of Chan. When your legs hurt, bear it, because believe me, it's a virtuous thing to do. When people criticize you, when people disagree with you, when people slander you, bear it. And I speak from experience. They've been slandering me for 25 years, nonstop. I bore it. There's nothing to dispute. Why? Why not? Because it helps them to release the pressure. You know, people in the world, you know, the world is so much more stressful. People are so much more stressed out. So they release it by saying negative things to everyone, not just us, not just me personally. If they say bad things about me, they're saying similar things to other people. It's okay. Take it. It's not about good or bad, just take it. There's no reason, there's no rhyme or reason. You don't need to it doesn't have to make sense to you. The virtuous things do not have to make sense. What is that called? I'm teaching you about kindness and compassion. I'm not teaching you about reasoning and like the Chinese people here, they say, you know, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. Who cares? Look at the suffering in other people. They suffer so much that every time they open their mouth, something negative comes out. They're so angry that they need to beat up on someone. Okay? If they don't beat up on you, you know what they're going to do? They go back and beat up and strangle their sons and beat up their wives. That's what they do. It's okay. We're different. I really, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn about whether, you know, the Chinese thing is the right thing or not, whether you win the argument, you win the debate or not. Whether it's not that important. We have our path. We have our directions. We have our work allotted for us already. Okay? There's no need to worry about it. And nothing need to worry about what people think, what others think. Not that important. Okay? And instead of pay attention to this, instead of worrying about whether you agree, disagree, whether it's fair, whether it's justified, okay? Look at the suffering. Why are they so negative? That's what I'm teaching you. I disagree with this teaching. This teaching here, okay, lacks compassion, lacks kindness. If you teach your children like that, they end up becoming lacking kindness, lacking compassion. In all due respect. Continue.
知道的人呢，有智慧的人，他不会说哦，我什么都知道，他要说什么他都知道。
Those who know, who have wisdom, won't say, "Oh, I know everything." If he says he knows everything,
这个博是博大的，他说他什么都知道，那他就是什么也不知道，因为他要什么都。
this bow means extensive. If he says he knows everything, then he knows nothing.
Okay, we stop here. I'm have enough of this today. For the New Year's Day, this is too much for me. Sorry, beloved master, but this is too much for me. This is too worldly for me. What I like to remind you all this is that I don't like this section. Okay, I really don't like it. It's too worldly to me. It's too petty to me. Okay, what I like you to keep in mind for this new year here is to remember what I just said tonight. Bear it. Bear the suffering, bear the pain. That's why we train you in meditation to bear more of the pain, to be able to take on more of the pain. Because if you can do that, then you can truly become kinder and more compassionate. If you cannot bear the pain, you cannot bear others' pain. And don't tell me about kindness and compassion. I don't believe you. Who cares? You know everything. Oh, Jesus. It's so petty. He says, I know. Bo, the Chinese, why are they so petty? I don't understand this. Who is he? Who was there in the audience? I know he's not like this. My master is not like this. This is why it's disappointing. Yeah, he has to talk like this to his disciples. I would never talk to you like this because I have too much respect for you. You deserve better than this. I ask you two questions.
Chun Chao asks, who is the great Chinese master who recently died?
Who what died?
The great Chinese master who recently died that you mentioned near the beginning of the lecture.
Who recently died? I don't remember. What context was that? Oh, yeah, Master Shena, who else? Too late. Don't fall for the false advertising, okay? When he dies, that means that it's not possible for you to make offerings to him anymore. Okay? It doesn't work like that. It's not possible for you to take refuge to him anymore. Okay? Now you have to deal with us. He left behind a bunch of losers. So that's all you have. Don't say, I'm make a donation in donation box. I used to tell you that, just make a donation and direct to Master Sheng. No, it doesn't work. Let me tell you frankly right now. And give him a donation box right there. I'm the abbot of the temple, therefore you give it to me. I don't care what you think. Okay? That's life. That means mission accomplished. He's no longer taking donations from you. As soon as he left his body here, he says, sayonara, I'm out of here, losers. Now you have to deal with my losers' disciples. Okay? So, tough luck. You missed the boat. All right. Are we okay? Okay, message, positive message. Oh, don't follow these worldly things. Too Chinese for me. Take it Take the abuse, take the pain, take the suffering. That's how you help a little bit. Let them, it's like a safety valve for them. Okay? It's called kindness and compassion in action, not just words, not just intellectual concept. Okay, thank you everyone. Happy New Year. You're all so great. Love you.